It feels like Jounen Kwéyòl has always been a part of St. Lucia, but there was a time when St. Lucia, like Grenada and Trinidad, was losing its Kwéyòl cultural heritage forever.
At one time in Grenada and Trinidad, but they lost it because you're not conversing that often. Once you don't converse in a language for too long, eventually you lose it. Just like there are a number of Creole languages throughout the world, but lots of them have been in extinction because it has not been, they do not continue conversing in these languages.
Something had to be done if St. Lucia was going to avoid neglecting its heritage to death.
Countries like St. Lucia, Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, etc., have been working to ensure that this language is not lost like the others, like the Creole languages. And so they approached UNESCO, and that is the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, to recognize the language and to appoint a day where the language can be celebrated.
UNESCO agreed and named October 28th as International Day of Kwéyòl, but this is not the birth of Jounen Kwéyòl. This is just the conception. As the Kwéyòl countries of the region continued exchanging ideas on how to celebrate the language every year, the St. Lucians had a brilliant idea. Kwéyòl is not just a language to be preserved, it is a cuisine, a mixture and a matrix of art forms, and a wide spectrum of culture to be celebrated.
The following year, however, in fact, before the actual 28th of October, we at the Folk Research Center thought that we should not only celebrate the language, but everything Creole about our culture.
To this day, it is one of the best examples of St. Lucians transforming something they had taken for granted into something precious that could be cultivated into a profit.
St. Lucia is the only country among what they call the Francophone countries that did that. Up to now, there's no other country that has gone that far. They celebrate the language, but they have never gone looking at the entire gamut of the Creole culture.
The little festival kicked off in Monrepo in 1984, 1 year after the UNESCO declaration, and after that moved to Foasso and PI, two culturally rich communities. But it was about 1988 when something happened that made Jounen Kwéyòl explode into what perhaps is the biggest national festival in St. Lucia.
When we had the first Jounen Kwéyòl, the day in Choiseul, that was where we realized, boy, that this aspect of our culture was embraced. We had done something that people loved in St. Lucia. There was a massive turnout of people, which caused a serious traffic jam, and I couldn't even get to the place. And so we decided to have it in 4 communities, spread out through the country to avoid that kind of calamity and that.
Today, Jounen Kwéyòl is one of the biggest, most anticipated events on the national and regional calendar, rivaling Carnival and the Jazz Festival in economic importance and eclipsing them both culturally. Once again, St. Lucians are taking for granted that this festival has always existed and has always been there. But as Jounen Kwéyòl outgrows the roads, the health and emergency services, and the logistic capabilities of the island, the little festival that could is once again demanding that St. Lucians reevaluate their traditional culture, not because it is too small or unimportant, but because it is too big for the little island where it first sprouted. For Choice News Now, I'm Jason Seaflay.